I bought this Wii on eBay. The seller listed it as parts or repair but didn't have any more information on it. Once I got it and tested it, it actually worked fine, so I was starting to think maybe nothing was wrong with it, until I smelled the thing and realized that we might have some other issues. Once I started disassembly, I realized exactly how bad it was, and, well, you saw the title, so you know where we're going from here. This thing had tons of bugs, lots of liquid damage, and what I'm hoping is boogers, but I really don't know what the rest of the crust is. Alright, since we got so lucky, I'm gonna treat the guy right. So, I think it should be my main objective to reduce these scratches as much as I can, get the boogies out of here, and whatever that is, and then just kind of treat him right. And then this panel just pops out. Yeah, whatever that stuff is, it's gotta go. Oh, that's liquid damage, baby. Okay. The good news is I don't think anybody's been in this before, which I have learned significantly increases the odds that I'll actually be able to fix it. There's liquid damage all over this board. Look at that. You can see there, there. This is gonna be fun. A little bit of bug remains. A little bit of liquid damage on the shell itself. We've got liquid damage right here. So there's our liquid damage on here. Bit more by that screw post. I think it's just dirt, not liquid damage. It's definitely dirty in here. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. We'll service him in a moment. Let's try to just get everything out so I can get the shell cleaned. Given the liquid damage, which I do see some here on the sink, or shield, I don't know, whatever this thing is. I do see some, but I don't see any on this board. Might just be dirt, and that may not be liquid damage. So the issue that they were having could be this liquid damage somewhere on the board, but it also could have been just a filthy disk drive, because the disk drive did not sound good earlier. I found more bug. Oh, this thing stinks. Oh man, this thing actually smells so bad. It's just, there's a lot of aroma hitting me now. Okay, let's continue. I think next I want to remove the fan. I need you guys to tell me how many bugs I have to find in a console before I can call it bug infested. Oh, the smell just got stronger again. It comes in waves, baby. I am seeing more liquid damage. I see some here, here, here. Tons of all that looks like dried water spots. That's all liquid damage. On the back side of them. Oh yeah, definitely some corrosion on the board. Ooh! Come on, 3 bugs has got to be bug infested, guys. So now the motherboard should come up. Oh, there is mega liquid damage on here. We'll set the board to the side. This panel's not secured in place in any way, I don't think. I think just on some posts. So there's our shell with insane scratching. There's some larvae. Let's look at the back side of the board. Yeah. Just liquid damage all the way around. Man. Don't worry about that. Oh, thank God the pad stayed in place. Oh, bug number 5. Come on. That being said, while inspecting the board, I see bug number 6 right there. We've hit enough bugs, I'm calling it bug infested. Looking at the board itself, I mean, it needs a clean desperately. But I don't see areas where the corrosion has scared me. On this side. Over here, yeah, what I was worried about earlier is I've got corrosion here on this chip, and then this switch just doesn't look good. But I mean, the switch works. Most of the corrosion on this side of the board is here and here, which is fine. We're good to start cleaning it. So I think it's time to do that. With this amount of liquid damage, if I go to power him on later and he doesn't power on, I'm just accepting that that's a thing. Take a dry toothbrush first and just get all this dust. Right now the goal is just to get as much of the dirt and debris knocked loose as we can. That way when I come through with my isopropyl alcohol, I'll have a little bit of a better success rate. These USB ports are really going to need some love. Actually, all the ports are really just going to need some love. So let's start up here. The surface of the board on this side has been cleaned as much as it can be cleaned with just the toothbrush. Before we move on to the cotton swab, I really want to get inside these ports. Now it's time for the cotton swab action. We'll start here on the back. This is going to take a long time. Let's start furthest from me. So as much as I'd like to get all of this corrosion and whatever rust cleaned up, ultimately the goal here is to get it to stop stinking and make sure it consistently works. I actually don't have any tools that could clean this up. There's only so much I can do. What do you even plug into the USB ports of a Wii? Am I time-lapsing this, or... I think that's as much as I'm going to get off this guy. I can't really tell if it even looks any better. Since this is where a lot of the water damage was, I really feel like this is where I need to spend a lot of my time. Liquid damage, whatever. I know you should say it's liquid, because we don't know what the liquid is. I'm choosing to believe it's water damage and not something disgusting. I will say, given the extent of the liquid damage, I am very surprised this thing just worked for me. I'm going to say the board's clean now. It's time to move on to the metal components. Okay, so I've got all the plastics set aside, just soaking, so that it'll be easier to clean all that rust off. Also, maybe to help with the smell. Oh, another bug. Same thing as last time, just gonna take a dry toothbrush, use that to get as much of this off as I can. Main point is just to get as much of the debris off as I can. God, it's so bad. I mean, I know I shouldn't try to get it perfect, because, well, I can't, but come on. Okay, so we're definitely gonna have to learn how to clean rust off to make me satisfied in the future. And honestly, like, this tape isn't gonna do me any good. Yeah, it's yellowed from bug guts. I'm assuming they smoked or something, so that's a lot of what I'm seeing here. Not judging. Used to be a smoker myself. Now let's clean this up so that I can make it dirty again by working on the disk drive. Actually, you know what? Let's get this fan. Now it's disk drive time. I know, I should have removed the disk before I started to do this. I never claimed to be good at this. Oh man, look at how yellow that is. Very yellowed in there too. Okay, thankfully the gear looks good. It just looks like it's so dirty, it's having a hard time functioning. Ooh, another bug. Well, I guess just, let's go top down. So let's clean this off first. Remembering that I don't want to send... Where did you come from? I was literally about to say I don't send any springs flying, but where did this come from? So my question to y'all is, a console like this gets sent off to a company that refurbishes them. There's quotes around that. Alright? So we'll say it's a company like DK Oldies. So a console goes off to a company like that. They then refurbish it and list it as refurbished and go to sell it to you. This exact Wii. What would be your expectations of what they did to this Wii for you to be good with buying it? Ah, okay, so it was definitely on like this. I did it again. Well, let me just get in here. So now I don't need to touch that area anymore. There we go. That's how it's supposed to be. I think it's the spring that goes right here, because I remember that being a thing that existed. Okay. How much do I want to disassemble this? So what's the correct order again? It's this. Maybe it's not. Don't lose the bug. I've lost the bug. The bug is gone. I need this to be free. Like this. So that I can get to the rollers better. This bit doesn't matter aside from the fact that it's just in the disk drive. And any dirt that's in the disk drive can get on the laser, get inside the gears, do a bunch of things to prevent it from functioning. So, dirt on this doesn't impede functionality, aside from the fact that it can then go to something else where it will impede functionality. So there's more dirt in this one than the last Wii that I worked on, but overall the disk drive is in better shape. So it looks like whoever had this really just didn't play the Wii much. The other one, the spindle rubber, was like pretty worn down, which I guess would make sense with a gear failing. This is not the approach I would normally take using this toothbrush, but there's just so much dirt, I really don't have a choice. I really need to make sure that I get it all. Oh. Alright, we knocked a gear out doing that. I'm terrified to look down. Okay. A gear flew away. I was worried I broke some plastic. Well... Wait, didn't I break some plastic? Isn't this all one piece? Well, anyways, I can now get to this better, so now I just need to get that spring back in place. So I know he loops onto here. I'm pretty sure he loops here. This arm goes under there. And then this one does something. This one goes there. There we go. The sound comes out like crap on this. I'm gonna cry. Oh, I'm 2 hours and 15 minutes into filming it.
With that tragic discovery out of the way, it was time to start cleaning the shell. So this time I went ahead and let everything soak for quite a while. I would say it was probably like an hour and a half in total that these things sat, but it made a really big difference in being able to clean everything off. I don't know what the yellow powdery stuff is. I'm assuming it had something to do with the bugs. Not really sure, but that stuff emitted quite a strong odor, and I don't think it would have come off nearly as well without letting it soak in here. Once everything had soaked for a while, finally started brushing. Soft toothbrush was good enough for most of this, but I did have to switch to something a little bit more aggressive for some bits, especially where the rust was. But aside from the rust, everything else came out pretty well, and most of the smell was gone too.
So we're almost ready to reassemble, but first I want to see if there's anything I can do about these scratches. I'm more so just concerned about the bigger ones. So I'm going to use some Novus scratch polish. So this apparently does well for shiny plastics. I've tried this before and haven't really found any success, but everybody else says it's so good. I don't know what it is I'm doing wrong. So we'll just first shake it up, open it, and try to only get it on the Wii. Editing Matt, does that look better or worse?
I know it looks about the same, but trust the process. Also, when I've tried this previously, I've just focused in on one scratch doing the 90 degrees that they recommend. This time I decided to go in big circular motions with the first step, which is not what you're supposed to do, but it actually seemed to work pretty well in this particular case. So you should follow directions and not do what I'm doing, but I'm an idiot and I found more success this way.
Okay, so it is actually looking better. I know the camera probably looks worse because now you see all these scratches with the white stuff in them. But the white stuff is just the polisher. But a bunch of these nastier gashes are kind of going away. That's how we look now. I think that's good on the deep scratches. So maybe we're good to try to move on to the medium. Okay, let's try this guy now. Oh wait, gotta shake him. And I'll show you what we're looking at. Just a bunch of fine scratches all over. I probably didn't help anything with the way that I tried to polish this. And we'll do a pretty liberal amount. I don't know that you need to, but I'm going to, because I can. So obviously that looks way better. That's insane. We'll do another pass with that level. Honestly, if we stopped here, I'm happy. But I want to see how far we can take this, so. So there's our final result. Could definitely spend all day working on that and get those fine scratches out, because all those from down there are gone. So when the light hits it, it looks terrible. But otherwise, I mean, first of all, face reveal, I guess. It looks really good in person. You just gotta take my word for it. So here's the other panel. Dude, what a crazy night and day difference. That is insane. Yeah. I could probably work on that for hours and just continue to make it better. But that's not what we're doing. I'm gonna apply this pretty aggressively. Now what I am worried about on this side is if I'm gonna wipe away that ATI up in the top left. Tell you what, it definitely makes it easier to see where those deep scratches are. I love how terrible it looks right now. Okay, I did 2 this time with the heavy scratch. Just kidding, I did 3 because I grabbed the wrong bottle. Here's where we're at after 3 passes. Now I'm gonna take the 2 into our patent pending really big blob. I'm also curious to see the rate of return with each coat. It doesn't tell you how many times to repeat these. It just says to, do them as needed, and you kind of just, case by case basis, figure it out. There's where we're at after the first coat of the second one, so there we have it. There we are after our 3rd pass. Scratches on this panel didn't come out as well, but honestly, there might have been more of them. It's kind of tough to tell just with how bad it was. Now it's time for step 3, which is the clean, shine, and protect. That's probably enough. We did pretty good with the cleaning, but the rust just really didn't want to come up. This thing is still very ugly. All right, let's get him some rubbers. He deserves it. He was a champ. All right, got his feet in place. Now let's get him some panels. Okay, they're everywhere. Totally different colored black too. That is not even remotely the same color. That is not even remotely passable. That looks ridiculous. Oh. All right, all that work. Let's see if it was even worth it. He worked for me earlier, but that was before we went and messed with him. Now I will say, he did work earlier. However, that disk drive sounded terrible. I'm hoping cleaning it and giving it some fresh lubricant made it a bit quieter, but let's find out. We on. That disk drive sounds better already. Get our disk in here. Let's see how the disk drive sounds. It sounds so much better. Oh, got something on the screen? That other camera died. That didn't last very long. You guys are not going to get the two-way footage. I am going to see if this game loads now. I promise I'm working on a better setup where you'll be able to see the screen as I'm testing and things like that. All right, this is loading just fine. The disk drive sounds way better than it did. And we got a lot of the scratches out of this thing too. I'm pleased. It doesn't stink anymore, which I'm a big fan of. I kind of thought that smell was just a permanent feature, but no. This thing looks so much better. Yeah, there's still scratches when you catch in the light, but now it's not like terrible just to look at. This side's not too bad. So maybe I'll spend some more time polishing just around it. If you guys would be interested in seeing how clean I can get it, let me know down in the comments below, and maybe that can be a thing we do, or I just grab some of the worst plastics I can find and see how shiny I can make them. That's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and if you'd like to see more just like it, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.